Now, the children. For the children, the first is to honor or obey the parents. Not only parents, but elders. Parents, anyone who is in a age bracket of a parent is your parent, whether it's an elder, a guardian, or something. As long as they have a point of authority on you, that is a parent. So the first thing is to obey your parents or elders or honor them. And this we find in Exodus chapter 20 verse 12. It says, honor your father and mother, then you will have a long full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. The same we find emphasized in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 1 to 3. It says, children, obey your parents because you belong to the Lord, for this is the right thing to do. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise. If you honor your father and mother, things will go well for you and you will have a long life on earth. So basically here we see this thing has a promise. God really has good blessings for people who honor the elders, honor the parents, the parental figures, the guardians, those people above us, superior, yeah, those parental role models. It is good for us to respect them, and honor means not only just respecting, but doing what they ask us. If your parent tells you do this, don't do this, corrects you here and there, you are humble enough to listen and to do as they ask of you, because these are your actually gods on earth. These are the gods you know on earth. So we really need to give them high respect, and God will highly bless children who do this. Now, first of all, we've spoken about family and the roles of a family, but what is the importance of family? People may not really take these things serious. Some people take family for granted, but family has several benefits. The first is it gives identity. A family helps to give you a sense of belonging. When you know that I really come from somewhere, you imagine like you don't have your roots, you cannot really trace back to where you came from. These are people you find who are miserable and they sometimes feel lost, you know. But when you know, however much maybe I'm far from home, but as long as I know there's somewhere I come from, there's that sense of satisfaction that you feel deep within, that you belong somewhere and you have people who really care about you. And the next one is family helps people or children to be raised up with proper values, to be directed, and to receive what we call education. You know, we have the formal and informal education, but the most important education, especially to relate with society, is the informal, and is learned at home: how to cook, how to speak, the conduct, the discipline, all those basics that make up a human character. A good one or a bad one are things that are developed in a family. A proper structured family will make sure that these things are catered for and the child is well raised and they have proper values and etiquette on how to behave in society. Now, the next one is family helps care for basic needs, especially for those who are not yet in position to help themselves, or those who are no longer in position, for example, the elderly and the unemployed, and maybe even the babies and children. Those are not yet in position to earn a living by themselves. So those who are able bring their resources together, they pool their finances together and cater for their next immediate relatives and people they live with in family, so that these people also do not lack. So family is where people bring their resources, their knowledge and connections, but to help everyone in the family. The next one is in family, of course, is where you receive love and care, genuine love and care. Whether there are fights and disagreements, there's where you feel this family, people really love you and care about you. So this is where you feel a real sense of importance, you know, and you really feel that you're worth existing because you have people who love and care about you regardless and unconditionally. Now, family also provides security. This is financial, it can be emotional, it can even be spiritual, it can even be medical, you know, when there is support. So you're never really alone when you're with family. The challenges you face, sometimes you fall so sick and you are unable to help yourself. Sometimes you're totally off and you need someone to talk to, sometimes you're in a challenge. All these things, there is the security that you get, and you know regardless of what you go through, you have family members to fall back to, and they will always have your back regardless. Then of course family at the same time is a support system. Support system is, you know, someone you can talk to, you know, openly. You don't fear, you're open, you know, this is someone who won't judge me regardless of maybe they may not agree with me in some things, but these are people who have their best interests, my best interests at heart. So these are people you're open to opening up to without feeling shame, you know. So that is a very good thing, a support system. And of course family grooms what we call teamwork. And family helps people to learn how to work as a team. People who have not been raised in family usually like to work alone in isolation, and they don't believe in sharing. They have this mentality of only doing things by themselves. But people who have been raised in family learn the values and the importance, the essence of working as a team. And this also comes to help someone after they leave the immediate family setting and they go to community and they relate with others. It makes it easier for them to relate with other people because these basic things have been learned at home. Now, what should a good family be like? Because we speak about family, but how should a good family be like? I outline some few points. I believe the first one, a family should help community and the needy. A family should not only just cater for their immediate relatives, but if there's a larger family, which is the community family, you know, and even the country family. So a family should not only stop by its immediate household needs, but also get out and stretch a hand and reach out to the needy and the poor and community. Wherever there's need, family can also come in and become of positive impact to the community around them. Family also is expected to have an honest living and exemplary lives of integrity. So a family which is well organized needs to really be exemplary to the people around and the communities. By the way, they do their things, you know. People always say that family is good or that family is not good, depending on how we behave. A family which practices integrity, honesty, and love for the rest in the community is a family that really glorifies God in community. Now, the next one, a family should be God-fearing. A God-fearing family is a very good one, a prayerful family, a family that prays together at church. Of course, remember, we also have a larger church family. So a family should really also be connected to other bigger Christian families, like church families, and be prayerful, you know. Even at home, a family that prays together stays together, you know, and reading the word together. All those things help to bond the family more, bring unity, and also groom the children for the future. You know, even in the future, they will not depart from the faith after, because they learned all these basic things. They learned the spiritual things, how about God when they were at home. So it's very hard for them to be confused when they go back later in life to face the world. And the most important thing, there's no family if there's no love. So a family is expected by default to have love for one another, and a family which loves one another is a family that really you would see happiness. It prospers. Where there is love, you honestly see that there is happiness, and of course unity. A family where there is love, there is unity. In Psalms chapter 133 verse 1, it says, "How wonderful and pleasant it is when brothers live together in harmony." So when brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers live all together in harmony, it's really a beautiful feeling, as you can see in Psalms chapter 133 verse 1. Also in Colossians chapter 3 verse 14, it says, "Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in harmony, in perfect harmony." So this really shows that family is very important, and we really need to have love. You know, love binds us together and makes us live in harmony. This is Colossians chapter 3 verse 14. Family is also expected to forgive one another, because where people live together, they always provoke one another. There's always dissension. There's always one or another conflict. But in the end of it all, a family needs to overcome such things quickly, and forget and leave the bad past in the past, the bad things in the past. So a family has to be with people who forgive one another and let it go. So it's very important. This we find in Colossians chapter 3 verse 13. Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. So the forgiveness thing, we don't just do it for the sake, but we do it because this is what Christ taught us as an example. You have to forgive. Jesus Christ said you have to forgive 70 times, 7 times. So it's really a requirement and very needful for Christians, especially members of a Christian families, to be forgiving towards one another for a better, happy family. Now, apart from those good families, we also have those dysfunctional families which are not organized, where people are hurt. Maybe you have a parent who's in addiction, a parent who's confused, a parent who beats your mother, a mother who doesn't love you, a mother who teaches the children. All those families, we also have them, dysfunctional families. If you come from such a family, don't lose hope. You can always find a family out there. Remember, there's a church family. There are also good people out there. Look for a family that can really take you in. Talk to someone, a counselor, reach out to people who can be of help to you, people you can trust, counselors, pastors, and church people. I believe one or another, if your immediate family is not fulfilling the mandate, God will give you a family somewhere, somehow, because we realized from the beginning, as I told you, not every family is made up of biological people, biological related members. So a family can be a family even if you're not biologically related, because I believe God is the center of it all. In conclusion, a family is a very important unit, and it is something that was initiated by God, and everyone should value the families they come from. Don't reach a level and feel like your family is not good enough for you and you want to disown your parents, you want to disown your elders. That's actually a curse. Where you come from is a blessing. Never forget your roots. Whether you travel to the United States or you go to the United Kingdom, if your village is somewhere in North Uganda or deep there in Mbarara, you come back and visit those people with the same humility and respect where you come from. This is what I've written basically as a point of conclusion, and I hope it will bless you. A family is a divine plan initiated by God, and we all have a responsibility to be a family to someone. No one should feel alone. Everyone deserves to feel loved and included. As Christians and God-fearing people, let us make intentional efforts of reaching out to those without families and be family to them. In the end, we are all God's children under one Father. His name is God. Yeah, so we realize this whole world, we have small units of families, but all of us together, we are also a family. And we have one Father. Our Father is God. So we should not have discrimination. In a family, we don't need to have discrimination. Things like racism, tribalism, religious differences, class and status, education levels. All those things are not things supposed to be done in a family. But we are supposed to use whatever we are skilled at and whatever we are good at, better than the rest, to help our fellow brothers and sisters, because in the end, we are all one family under one Father, who's our Heavenly Father, God.